Now, from Western North Carolina's news leader, this is News 13 This Morning.
Let's begin with a live look from Haywood County this morning. That's just one of the areas facing windy conditions on this weather-worn day here in the mountains.
Now that's rough looking right there. Yeah. No doubt. With this wind chill, we have live team coverage of the storm.
Phil Bredson is joining us live all the way from Wisconsin this morning. We're going to get to Phil in just a minute, but right now we want to go to Ingrid in the Weather Center.
Well, thankfully no additional precipitation overnight. That's the good news. Bad news is what fell yesterday that didn't dry out. Well, it's still there and it's frozen right now because look at these temperatures. We've got 20 degrees in Asheville, 18 in Burnsville, 16 in Flat Rock, 17 in Forest City. All across our viewing area, it is below freezing. Temperatures feeling even colder with that wind. It's not terribly strong, thankfully. It's been relatively calm. At times, higher elevations, we've seen some stronger gusts, but it feels like 2 in Boone, feels like 9 in Asheville. This wind chill advisory won't expire until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So wind chill values at times above 3,500 feet could feel like below zero. Here's a look at your morning rush. There is that hazard sign out early on because of that threat for black ice. Sunny skies and cold conditions all day long. I'll talk much more about when much more comfortable weather returns to the region in my full forecast.
Let's continue our team coverage with News 13's Liz Birch in Mobile Track this morning.
Liz, how much black ice are you seeing now?
Well, quite a bit more. Yeah, I spoke too soon when I said it was just a little bit patchy black ice because once we were on Patton Avenue for a little bit and once we turned onto Merriman Avenue, we really saw a ton more. And it does look like exactly what Ingrid's talking about, that snow that melted, ponded, and then refroze. I'm going to turn you around so you can see what it looks like here. We're leaving Weaverville in Buncombe County. It's pretty dry where we are right now. I will say in some spots it looks like it's dry, and then other spots, particularly where snow was on the side of the road, maybe where it accumulated kind of on the grassy areas or off to the side and then melted and then obviously refroze. That's kind of where we're seeing the issues, where it comes into the road. So when you're leaving to go to work or school this morning, you're really just going to want to be really aware because it's not like there's ice everywhere. It's not like the road is totally covered in ice. It's really specific spots, but again, it does look like it's because that snow did melt. So we know yesterday, Tuesday night, there were salt trucks out treating roads in Buncombe County. We also know some businesses actually closed early because they were concerned about road conditions. And this morning, families won't be hitting the roads as early because both Asheville City Schools and Buncombe County Schools operating on a delay. So that's the good news. It is going to be fewer people out on the road this morning, but do be cautious wherever you are. Even though the roads are salted, obviously in those areas where the snow melted and refroze, it's really slick and it does kind of sneak up on you too. You might not notice it, especially in those areas where it's dry for a while and then it's just right there. So yeah, be cautious as you're heading out the door this morning. We're getting a little bit closer to Madison County. Going to hop back on the freeway. We'll let you know what it looks like in the next half hour.
All right, weather and on-time traffic together every 10 minutes out there here on your Wednesday morning drive. You heard Liz say use caution no matter where you're traveling today because of the possibility of some black ice out there. In the meantime, we do have a traffic alert to get to here early on your work and school day. Just got off the phone with APD. They tell me there is an accident I-26 westbound near I-40, that I-40 west and east junction there. Not far, obviously malfunction junction here. They tell me one car accident, no injuries. Doesn't look to be impacting traffic just yet because, of course, not a lot of folks out and about just yet, but if you are headed that way, it could cause you just a couple of delays. In the meantime, a look a little bit closer to downtown Asheville. This is I-240 here at the Bowen Bridge from our Lester Flooring Skycam network. East and westbound drivers cruising right along. But again, the possibility of some patchy ice out there, so just use some caution. Holly?
Coming up, a Mountain Sheriff's Office says it was targeted on the roads. How the culprit put others in danger.
And looking at our time lapse, you can see the temperature is continuing to cool. Up next, is this anywhere close to record cold? I'll let you know.
This cold snap is already making a major impact nationally. It has swept through the country, bringing snow and extremely low temperatures.
One of the hardest hit areas is up in the Midwest. That's where we find Phil DeCastro joining our live team coverage this morning from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Good morning, Phil. What's behind you? It looks cold there.
Good morning, Holly. Behind me, you'll find the infamous frozen tundra itself, Lambeau Field, where the Packers play. We are just across the street at our field house here, and it is absolutely bitter cold this morning. The wind chill in Green Bay at last check was 43 degrees below zero, and other spots in the Midwest are already seeing wind chills down around 50 below zero or even colder than that. Wind chill warnings in effect until Thursday, because we could be seeing wind chills anywhere from 30 to 50 degrees below zero all the way through that time frame. As a matter of fact, this cold, not just an inconvenience, this is cold even for us here in Wisconsin. The governor has declared a state of emergency across the state because of the cold, meaning that state patrols and the National Guard are available to local municipalities in order to help check up on people and help local municipalities. Heating shelters are open as well in order to help people out. And at last check last night before I left the station, there were over 250 closings when it came to schools and businesses, and I'm sure that number has come up as well.
What do homeowners do during all of this when it's that cold? How do they even keep their pipes from freezing?
Well, you really just have to be prepared ahead of time. Make sure all the pipes are insulated. And at some point, if the cold lasts for long enough, what they'll do is they'll issue a running water advisory, the town will. And that means that you should run your water just a little bit, about the width of the lead inside of the pencil. And what that does is it keeps the water moving around in the pipes and helps to keep that water from sitting there and just freezing up. But it does become a big concern when temperatures drop as low as they are right now.
And Phil, you're talking about a warm up there?
Yeah, a relative heat wave coming this weekend. We're going to see a sub-zero high today of -8. We could see a turnaround of about 40 to 45 degrees this weekend. We could be seeing highs in the 30s on Saturday and Sunday, so might have to bust out the shorts and flip-flops.
Phil, you remind me of Wilson on Home Improvement. Right. Stay warm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, take care out there. All right, let's send it over to Ingrid. Ingrid, we can't complain. Poor Phil.
Oh my gosh, Phil, yes, indeed. It's 16 the low this morning, so that is nothing compared to what Phil is feeling right now. The record for this date is -7 back in 1966. So although it's cold, we have felt much colder in the past. Here's a look at the wind chill and frostbite time. So this is what you need to know when you're going to be outside for a long period of time. Cover that exposed skin. If it's 15 degrees and you get a 10-mile-per-hour wind, for example, it'll feel like 3 degrees. If you get a 15-mile-per-hour wind gust, feels like 0. 25-mile-per-hour wind, which is possible this morning, especially in higher elevations, it feels like below 0. So that's why we want you to take precautions, even though it's not quite as cold as what they're feeling in the Midwest and the Northeast. Coming up in a few minutes, I'm going to talk about a pattern change back here at home as well. We will see some warmer air. How will that impact the Super Bowl if you've got some plans that day or into early next week? We'll talk about our next rain chances. But for now, let's head back over to Katie Killen for another look on the roads this morning.
Yeah, good Wednesday morning. Still tracking that traffic alert happening here in Asheville. Let's go ahead and get a look here at our maps. Want to remind you, we have an accident I-26 westbound just ahead of the I-40 junction, right in that malfunction junction area, which is always a bit of a problem really any time of day if you ask me. But this is a one-car accident. Doesn't look to be impacting traffic there on I-26 just yet this morning, but a heads up, you could see just a couple of slowdowns in that direction. South Asheville, I-26 at Long Shoals from our Lesser Flooring Skycam network. Looking good here. Not a lot of folks out and about just yet, but I do want to remind you the possibility of some patchy black ice out there this morning, especially less so on the interstates and more so on those secondary roadways, your neighborhood roads, your driveway, your sidewalks. Again, just be careful out there. Jay?
And this is a live look from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta this morning. We will have a preview of the Super Bowl just ahead and how the cold snap is affecting travel in Atlanta.
Let's take a live look from Cataloochee ski area this morning. Looks pretty out there.
A lot of snow.
Yeah, it looks cold.
One way or the other.
It looks like a good day, though, to go snowboarding or skiing, except you got to definitely bundle up because of that wind.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
Yeah. Business owners in downtown Asheville say they are staying open despite the cold snap.
As long as it's safe for employees to come into work, it's business as usual. We spoke with staff members at Wasabi Downtown. They say they will still get customers, just a different crowd.
Yeah, we see more tourists on snow days that are kind of like locked in the hotels doing nothing. But as far as like our usual lunch is local business people.
Some stores closed yesterday. Business owners say it's best to call ahead to see if the particular store is open. Developing this morning, sheriff's deputies in one county may have been targeted while out on patrol. Graham County Sheriff's Office posted this photo. It shows a handful of nails found on Wiggins Road. Officials think the nails were intentionally dumped to target deputies while on extra patrol in the area. Authorities say this will not stop those extra patrols.
A Hendersonville industrial hemp dispensary was hit by smash and grab robbers. They broke into Franny's Pharmacy around 4 yesterday morning, shattering the front door. Thieves took about $600 worth of flower tops, which is the bud of the plant. It looks like pot and smells like pot, but it is not the grade of cannabis that gets you high. The store owner believes the thieves may not have known that.
In this industry, even though everything we're doing is legal, it's a little scary that people think that, you know, maybe we have marijuana or something in here and we don't.
There's also the possibility the thieves plan to sell the industrial hemp as real marijuana. A surveillance camera caught this image of a suspect and white sedan with passenger side damage. If you've seen this car or have information about the case, call Hendersonville Police.
Tyson Foods is recalling one type of chicken nuggets because they may have been contaminated with plastics. The recall affects Tyson's fully cooked panko nuggets packed in 5-pound bags. The company says a small number of consumers found tiny pieces of soft blue plastics in their chicken. Tyson says there are no reports of injuries so far. The problem does not appear to be widespread.
Now, your News 13 Skywatch weather.
Welcome back. Good morning, everyone. We did see some sunshine yesterday afternoon, and breezy conditions helped to dry out some roads. Not everywhere, but this is a good example as one that's good to go. Highlands camera showing us this at 4,000 feet. Lester Flooring Skycam network, but patchy black ice we've been talking about all morning. Still the biggest concern. The biggest concern across much of the country, from the Midwest to the Northeast to even the Southeast, is this cold Arctic air that we've been talking about, moved down from Canada. Now this high is centered over the Great Lakes, and this is really going to be dictating our weather today and tomorrow, and that's why we had those weather warn days, simply for that cold weather and the windy conditions as well. In regards to the snow chance this morning, it's minimal, about a 20% chance in highest elevations. Could see a few snowflakes flying through mid-morning. And other than that, it's all sunshine. So it'll be cold, but at least it'll be sunny. Into tomorrow morning, also some flurries possible in those highest elevations, but the rest of us see all sunshine as well. And temperatures start to modify back to normal as we head into Friday. It's going to take a little bit of time here because that's such a cold air mass. Takes some time to get it back to normal. Feels like 8 degrees at 6 a.m. in Burnsville. Feels like 16 in Waynesville, 21 in Asheville. As we move throughout the day, the wind could pick up at times. Still feeling like the teens for your 9 a.m. drive. If you're heading out to lunch break, I would bundle up from head to toe. Might be a good idea to put something over your face while you're walking because it's still going to be incredibly cold through the lunch hour. Into the early afternoon, kids getting out of school, walking home, it's going to be frigid, so make sure they have hats and gloves. Into your evening commute, feels like 11 degrees. Things improve as we go into the weekend and early next week. We go from well below average to well above average over the next handful of days. So something to look forward to as we head into the weekend. Forecasted highs today in the 20s and 30s. Likely around freezing here in the Asheville area. Asheville 7-day forecast gives us that weather warn day again tomorrow, with temperatures turning warmer Friday and into this coming weekend back to the mid-50s. Our next rainmaker won't be until early next week with a few showers forecast. Back to you.
And now, your on-time traffic report, sponsored by Brian Easler Toyota.
And an update here on your roadways. Just got off the phone with APD. They tell me that accident I-26 westbound near Malfunction Junction has cleared out there this morning. So for now, I can say that we are accident-free. Relatively delay-free. You can see just if you're looking for a busy roadway or a busier roadway, I should say, I-240 there across the Bowen Bridge. To the right of your screen, I-40 east and westbound near that Dunsmore Avenue exit, just a tad slow as well. Remember, patchy black ice out there this morning, pretty much no matter where you travel across the mountains. So keep that in mind as you get out the door here on your way to work and school. Another update coming your way in 10 minutes. Jane, Holly.
All right, thanks so much. The city of Asheville wants your input on who should be the next police chief. Tammy Hooper resigned from the position at the beginning of this month. The city says it wants to hear what leadership qualities residents would like to see in their next chief. The first input meeting is at 6 p.m. February 5th at the Southside Center off Livingston Street. The second is at 6 p.m. February 6th at the Stevens Lee Recreation Center on George Washington Carver Avenue.
Happening right now, deputies are waiting on your phone call to help find suspects running from the law. In this morning's Fugitive Files, we're teaming up with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office. If you see any of these fugitives, remember you can call anonymously. The number today, 828-287-6247. Again, 828-287-6247. For a complete list of this week's fugitives, just log on to WLOS.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Super Bowl 53 is less than 1 week away. The New England Patriots will face the Los Angeles Rams Sunday in Atlanta.
Lexi O'Connor is covering the big game and events leading up to it and joins us now live from Atlanta. Good morning.
Good morning, Jay and Holly. A cold morning here in Atlanta. It's just 23 degrees outside, so it seems as though the home of the Super Bowl 53 is also feeling this Arctic blast that is sweeping across much of the country. Because of that, many fans are going inside to areas like this. This is the entrance to the NFL Experience that has been packed. It was very packed yesterday. It seems as though the New England Patriots have brought with them the cold temperatures, but also their fans. While the big game may still be days away, the fans are in full force in Atlanta, and it's not hard to find Patriots fans.
Go Pats! I grew up in Boston. I've been a fan since the days when they couldn't win a game. So I'm enjoying this run that they're on, and we just hope it lasts as long as it can go.
Dave Davis says he's been rooting for the Patriots for years, despite some saying they're tired of seeing the Patriots win. He's hoping they'll take home their 6th Lombardi trophy.
I get it, I understand it, but you know what? As a Patriots fan, I'll take all I can get.
I started playing with the Patriots in Madden when I was in middle school, and then they just happened to win the Super Bowl 2 years later. So I was a Pats fan ever since then.
Jacquie Howard's also cheering them on and is happy to have the Pats playing in his hometown. While we did find some Rams fans, it seems so far they're outnumbered.
Way more Patriots fans. We were at the opening night last night at State Farm Arena, and it just seemed like there were at least 2-to-1 Patriots fans.
But those who don't like the New England team are putting their support behind the Rams.
I'm rooting for the Rams, not the stinking Patriots.
Benny Nat is usually a Falcons fan, but is hoping the Rams now take the win.
Because they won so much Super Bowls, and I don't want them to win another one. And Tom Brady, I'm just tired of him, and I want him to retire.
Patriots fans, however, are hoping what seems like a strong fan base in Atlanta helps them claim number 6.
It's always good to have a hometown advantage, so if you can have the fans on your side, I think it gives the team a little bit of a push.
Whether you're rooting for the Rams or the Patriots, fans are expecting a good game on Sunday. A lot of excitement down here in Atlanta, especially with the Super Bowl now just 4 days away. We're reporting live from Atlanta. Lexi O'Connor, Jay and Holly, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much. Coming up in our next half hour, we will preview the new flight coming to Asheville.
And here's a look at that cold weather that we were just talking about. Right now it's below zero in many areas in the Midwest, including the Dakotas down into the Great Lakes. In the Southeast, it is cold as well. We'll take a closer look at the wind chill factor next.